Hi, I'm Paul Reminisce. I may have to speak up a little bit today because of the roaring water behind me. This is Tisher Creek in Duluth, Minnesota, near where I live, and I'm on a walk today. I want to talk about newspapers. Yeah, newspapers. Remember, you know those things that many of us, depending on our age, what we held in our hands and read on a daily basis? My local paper, the Duluth News Tribune, is turning to digital, and it will be sent by U.S. mail twice a week. It's still 7 days a week of a newspaper, but it's digital, and we'll be getting a hard copy until further notice twice a week. But it'll be coming by U.S. mail. No more paper delivery by a person, a delivery route. That's a big change for someone like myself and people maybe my age who grew up with newspapers and really like them. And I'm not talking the politics of them, that's another story. But that whole business has changed. But why I like to have that newspaper in hand, that tactile experience of having the paper. But also it gave me ideas of what's happening in my community. I can remember moving here in 2003 and people wondering, how did you know about that? How did you know about that? We saw it in the newspaper. A lot of people didn't get the paper or look at it. They had political reasons, or it's too expensive, or they just would never read it, or whatever. I don't know. But we found it invaluable to be for a new person in a community. But my story for newspapers, my story about newspapers goes back to when I was growing up in Connecticut. At our family pharmacy, we sold newspapers like many businesses did, or businesses like a pharmacy. And we'd get bundles and bundles of papers every day, especially on Sunday, big bundles of newspapers from the area, the weekly papers, the daily papers. And I grew up in southern Connecticut, so we had New York papers come. There were many newspapers then. There was sometimes a morning paper, then there was an afternoon paper. And we'd have to cut open the bundles and put them out for display, and we had reservations. We had people that wanted us to get their copy, and they paid bi-weekly or monthly, and then they'd come to a counter and say, I'm here to pick up Reminisce's paper. And we'd have those papers for them already reserved, and so they wouldn't lose out on the to the regular public, I'll say, who were buying them off the street, and they'd go out. And they'd be out of papers. So I grew up with newspapers and all the different papers in New York City that I saw. I mean, even when I came around, that many of them had disappeared. But I like them, and I miss them, and I will miss them. And online, I may get used to it, but it's going to be very hard. I look at the computer screens all day. I really like holding a newspaper. It's like holding a book. So I wonder where you stand on newspapers. What do you think about that? I have other videos talking about my time in pharmacy and things about the pharmacy profession. And what do you think about newspapers? Let me know what you think. Give me a comment and follow me on YouTube. So long for now.